Karim?
Mine's biased towards Lisa. Talk to Lisa, She'll help you out. I mean, clearly, yeah, even if you're not looking to hire movers and your budgets allow it, it seems like it's worthwhile to chat with her and understand, like how to create a plan for yourself so you can move smoothly. I've moved several times in the military before, and I've moved on my own, like just me with all my stuff, and it was much harder to do it that way than even to just talk to a mover beforehand. Having done that, I understand the benefit of doing that for sure.
Yeah. So use a professional, I think, would be your main tip there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're listening to Realtor in Your Pocket podcast. Do you want a head start on buying, selling, or renting in Ottawa? You're in the right place. Every episode brings you great advice and insight that you can keep in your back pocket until you make your move. And now, here's your host, Nick Fundytus.
If you ask anyone who has recently bought or sold a home in Ottawa what the most stressful part of the journey was, they rarely say, going and looking at homes or, meeting with your realtor for the first time. Usually, with some sort of audible sigh, they say the move or the negotiation. But we're going to talk about the move today. It is the physical manifestation of a massive life change. It's packing up a decade or so of memories, or however many years, into cardboard boxes and then trying to get them across the Queensway without breaking your grandmother's china or your own spirit. So right now in Ottawa, the logistics of moving are shifting. We are seeing a tighter rental market and specific closing day pressures that make timing everything, that can be kind of a high stakes game. Whether you are moving from a condo in Westboro to a detached home in Orleans, or downsizing from Beacon Hill to a retirement community, the how of your move dictates whether your first night in your home is a celebration or a disaster. We believe that a successful move starts weeks before the first piece of tape hits a box. So I'm Nick Fundytus, and this is Realtor in Your Pocket. Today, we are happy to be joined again by Lisa the Mover Robinson, and professional moving broker, and my teammate Karim Ali, to talk about how to actually have a successful move. So welcome again to the show.
Yay.
Again.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Okay, so I will get right into questions for you there. So Lisa, we often refer to you as Lisa the Mover Robinson.
Yeah.
What is your role as a broker is a bit unique. When we explain this to clients, I mean, this is often something that they haven't heard before. So someone in Ottawa who just thinks they need to Google 3 guys in a truck, what does exactly a moving broker do to protect a family?
Okay. Well, I'm a broker in the sense that I work with different moving companies, but the companies that I work with are pre-vetted, and they're my favorites, and they understand what we're trying to do here. So as a moving broker, my best interest is your best interest. So I'm working for you, making sure that I have the best mover set up based on your move needs. Not every mover is created equal.
Mm-hmm. And even of the best vetted movers, not all of them are suited for the same moves. There's differences between them, right?
There's a different skill set with the 3 partners that I have, for sure. So my initial consultation is no charge. I go in and I explain exactly how things work and how it doesn't cost more to book through me because I get a commission, so to speak. But everything goes through me. It's just one point of contact. And because I have 30 personal moves of my own and 15 years experience, I know who's who and what's what and what needs to be done once I've done the in-home visit. So there really isn't anybody quite like me that does that. It's just...
No, you've definitely got your niche here in Ottawa. And I mean, if you go on Facebook groups or you go on Reddit and stuff like that and you're asking around, like your name comes up all the time. And I will say that, I mean, you have one of my moves as well. Like when we moved from our first home, which I'd never met you when we bought our first home, but when we moved to our first to our second, I mean, you handled that move and you handled it really well. So I definitely saw the value of having one point of contact and knowing that regardless of what size home we were starting in, what size of home we were going to, that we're going to be paired up with the right kind of mover and that we just had one person to call. So
yeah. So we handle everything. Right? The packing and the setup and the movers, and we make sure you're set up for the first night. And plus we arm you with the information and the tricks of the trade so that you're fully prepared for when the movers arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's whether somebody moving is doing a self-pack or they're having the packers come in, there's ways that they can make the process easier for themselves. We've talked about a really good article actually on our website is to go Google our article or search it for the first night box. The box that you should just set aside all your important stuff, your chargers and your toilet paper and your toothbrushes and whatnot, and what you should have in that. So, I mean, those are the kind of tricks and tips that we're looking for.
Something so simple, but so meaningful.
Okay, so Karim, as a realtor, you are often the first line of call when people, they realize that they have to move. I mean, if we're listing, I might get the call. If they're buying someplace, it might be giving you a call. How do we help clients decide between when it's appropriate to do the DIY, U-Haul and a pizza for your buddies kind of move, or when there's something that needs to be a little bit more bespoke, full service?
I think the first criteria is usually budget, right? If they're tight on funds and they're expecting to spend little to nothing on the move itself, it's usually kind of, they identify that they will do a DIY move. We always recommend to at least talk to someone about to Lisa usually, about their options, right? Because it might not cost as much as expect it to be. Otherwise, we ask them, like, what's your life going to look like around the moving day you're planning? Are you going to be busy? Are you going to be super available? How healthy are you? Are you able to move things on your own? Maybe people are not. Right?
Well, I can jump in on that if you don't mind me interrupting you. When we moved from our first place in Vanier to our place in Beacon Hill, it was spurred by, we had Jack already, our oldest, and we were expecting number 2, or Jill was expecting number 2. And we knew that by the time we actually moved, Jill would be pretty pregnant. We would have at that point a not quite 3-year-old running around and underfoot. And there's a certain amount you can do as parents, but anybody who is a parent realizes that there's also kind of a cap on what you can fit in the hours a day. And we're also both working and stuff like that. So, so just to add on to what you're saying there, what else kind of?
That's most of it, I think. Yeah. Availability, budget, more importantly. But yeah, Lisa might have more insight. She meets people when they're deciding whether you're going to hire her or not, right?
Yeah. My clients mainly are young families or about to give birth or just had a baby, professionals that would rather not take the day off work, or can't, right? Or they may have some severe anxiety issues with the whole move because it's very stressful.
Well,
no matter how organized you are, it's there.
Yeah.
It's just what level we want that to be on.
Yeah, I just banged that mic pretty hard. But we try and minimize the stress to a manageable level, but you're right, it's always going to be there. And one of the things you touched on was like the emotions of the whole move. Yeah. Moving is a big part of your life. It's one of those big milestones that's just right up there with, a job change or a marriage change or something like that. And often moves happen in conjunction with that. So there's all kinds of emotions that happen, even if they're positive ones, like your family is growing or whatever, or you got this great new job in town. Like there's still, if you have somebody who is invested in you, but has the emotional detachment of a professional, that's really helpful to have in your corner.
Totally.
So, yeah. So, but there are situations, and we will totally help you get down the decision tree to decide whether it's a DIY move or something a little bit more bespoke. Hey, it's Nick Fundytus. Question: what's your favorite social media platform? Are you big on Instagram? Do you Reddit? No matter where you are, I'd love for you to find me there and connect. All you need to do is type @Nick Fundytus and follow, and let's you and I connect. I'd love to be able to provide you the right answers, the right resources, and the right content to help you make your next move. If you send me a question, I always answer back. So subscribe, and I'll see you there soon. Okay, so Lisa, walk us through kind of the gold standard timeline. If I'm closing on a house, say 60 days or something like that, when should I be booking my mover? And what does that first talk with you look like? What kind of comes next, and what comes next, and what comes next?
Nick, in a perfect world, I would be meeting with you before you sell.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. The house is listed. You've done your declutter. You know what's going on. You know where you're moving most likely.
Okay.
You may not have a date, But as I've said, we don't need the date. We just need to know the specs on what's moving, and then we can pull the trigger a whole lot faster and get things in place.
Okay.
So I would say between the 60, 90 days, it's never too soon to reach out to the mover and get some quotes, and then you can start budgeting from there. You don't have to wait, because that's what happens most of the time. So that's the best advice I could give you as far as that goes.
Early is better. That comes up a lot in our podcasts, actually, like all different stages. Talk to the mortgage broker as early as you can. Go talk to, why not talk to the lawyer tomorrow too? You might not need to be involved yet, but at least you know who you're working with. So
plus you've already been staging and decluttering probably to get the house ready. So really that is the best time for us to come in. Even before that, that would be okay.
Okay.
But in the 60 days leading up to that is when you're going to start getting rid of anything that's not coming, or that you don't need, and you can try and sell in marketplace and buy nothing groups. They're just
Do you have good recommendations for those type of things when people just need to get it? It's not necessarily stuff that's going to move with them.
Buy nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Beacon Hill Buy Nothing group is like a Bermuda Triangle. You can put something on there, and I've seen a half-eaten bag of almonds goes up on there, and by the end of the day, it's got 4 comments. I'll take that.
I'm not like without fail. I'm a huge Buy Nothing person.
Yeah.
The only service we don't offer is selling anything, but I'll
Sure.
be happy to rehome anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do that. So
maybe we shouldn't advertise this. You've rehomed a few pets here and there on the way. Where you're like, the pet wasn't going to come with, and all of a sudden you've got a bunny. Right?
I happen to be the home of the pets.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to break that habit.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't tell that. Don't send her your animals.
Well, it's a different world for me now, but yeah, I'm down to 1 rabbit and 1 kitten.
Yeah.
So just going back to the 60-day timeline, at this point, you should have already gotten your 3 quotes or spoken to me about what direction we're going to go, what kind of level of services that you're going to need. And then if you decide to do it yourself, I'm okay with that. I got tips and tricks to just help because they're clients of yours. I'd be happy to help them any way that I can. And you can never start packing too soon either.
Okay.
People always underestimate just how much packing there really is. And you're going to go back to Diamond or U-Haul or wherever it is to get the material. I can actually tell you exactly how much you're going to need to pack the house. Yeah. And you pack non-seasonal stuff first and leave the kitchen last. There's lots of work that you could be doing. You can never over-plan, and you can never start too soon.
Oh, that's my wife's motto. If something is worth thinking about, it's worth overthinking about. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then you can arrange for the cleaners and all that kind of stuff once you get the dates. Then you just put it all in motion. It's really... Maybe it's because I'm OCD, Nick, that makes me really good. But some people aren't. Some people can't. They just get flustered because there's so much to think about.
Yeah.
Right? You got to eat the food, and are you going to take this? So there's just decision after decision that needs to be made. So I'm there to... There's people out there to help.
Yeah, there are professionals out there to help. And even if you're out there listening to this and you are going to self-move, we are happy to answer your questions. We want to make sure that you're doing this right, whether you're working with us or you're not working with us. So go read our blogs, go get in touch with us with your questions. You can find me on Reddit. I love answering questions on Reddit all the time. Go to r/Ottawa. You will find me on there. You type my name, and it's like the bat signal. I will appear to answer your questions. What else do I want to say here about this topic? You guys have covered it really well, and with the main thing being ready early. But if you had besides being ready early, which is a good universal tip, one tip to leave everybody with that they might not expect. Mine is the first night box. Use that. Go read that blog. Pack what you need to in your first night box so you know where to find it, and that way you will have it.
Okay, I have the best moving tip imaginable.
Okay.
And it's so simple. And I do this with every client I meet. I give them a roll of green painter's tape from the dollar store. I know, but actually it's my favorite brand. And you know how you label the boxes by room? Like this is kitchen, this is bathroom. People never think of the furniture. So you're going to label that table, basement. You're going to label that chair, master bedroom.
Okay.
If the furniture is all labeled by room of the new house,
The movers will get it where it needs to go.
Smooth as silk. There's none of this. Where does this go? Where does this go? It's quiet. It's more efficient. It's faster. And it'll save you money in the end.
Okay.
It's the best tip I have.
I mean, especially, I guess, if you're moving by the hour, which you do on a local move,
Yeah.
right? So,
But even long distance, even for the BGIS clients,
Yeah.
I still give them a roll of tape.
that's good.
Because I'm helping them help themselves on the other end. Because it's so busy. I mean, you
'cause
can't
don't know
even
where they're
take...
going to land on the other
You
end.
can't take a bathroom break and not have something end up in the wrong room, right? So if you label the furniture the same way you'd label the boxes, you're going to save yourself so much time and agony.
Cool.
That's my best tip.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Kareem?
Mine's biased towards Lisa. Talk to Lisa, She'll help you out. I mean, clearly, yeah, even if you're not looking to hire movers and your budgets allow it, it seems like it's worthwhile to chat with her and understand, like how to create a plan for yourself so you can move smoothly. I've moved several times in the military before, and I've moved on my own, like just me with all my stuff, and it was much harder to do it that way than even to just talk to a mover beforehand. Having done that, I understand the benefit of doing that for sure.
Yeah. So use a professional, I think would be your main tip there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Lisa, thank you for coming on today.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And Kareem, thank you as always. We appreciate your insights from the realtor's perspective of things.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah. So we covered the topic of moving today and how to have a successful move. It starts with planning, getting ready well ahead, using your professionals, whether that is a moving broker like Lisa Ann Robinson, whether it is your realtor and just letting them know that you are making a move. There is no time that is too early. We can help you form a plan, and whether you are doing a self-made move or whether you're doing something a little bit more bespoke, there are steps you can take to make sure that it's successful and that your first night in your home is a happy one rather than a stressful one or, even a bit of a disaster. So we are here to answer all your questions. If there's anything we didn't cover in this episode and you want to know, or you'd like to look back at one of our past episodes, say maybe you're interested more in specifically relocating, you can check out episode 3 from this season. And for anything we might not have covered in our podcast, reach out to me and the team at nickfundytus.ca. Reach out to Lisa, and we're happy to answer you. We are Ottawa's People First Realtors, and we're here to make sure that whether you are buying or selling or renting, that you make your best move. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next month with a new topic. Bye. What is people first when it comes to real estate? After all, we're buying and selling properties, so is it really about people? People first just means that people are more important than properties. It means that at the heart of every move, there's a human story. And that's why my team and I have to be excellent for you every time you buy or sell a home. That's why we take so much time to educate all our clients on the market and on the process. That's why we are continually improving our processes, honing our negotiation skills so that you know you are getting Ottawa's best when you work with us. That's why we stay in touch year after year with our past clients, because I believe, and we believe as a team, that being a business in Ottawa means that we have an obligation to our community, to improve it, to serve it, and to connect the people who live in it. In an era where property sales are often prioritized over people, our team puts relationships first. One client at a time, one relationship at a time. That's People First Real Estate.